I've told you already, I don't go in for that kind of thing. I've got more important matters to attend to.
Oh, but this event has commemorative significance. The church hopes that all sisters will be present.
Hopes? That's odd, because I don't recall a fulfill the hopes of others clause in my job description.
I mean, sure, but...
But what? You're the event organizer, aren't you? Do you not find it the least bit odd?
What do you mean?
This far out from Mondstadt at this hour? Even if you set out right now, I'll wager you'd still miss the opening ceremony. Who knows? Maybe this is someone's grand plan to make a fool out of you.
Huh? Well, that can't be. People aren't like that.
Evidence decides what people are like, not your feelings. Maybe you're a little too trusting of other people. Don't fret, nobody's gonna blame you if you go back empty-handed. I can't imagine anyone else was delusional enough to think I was gonna show up. But if you dally any longer, you really won't make it.
You're right. It's a very important commemorative event. If I'm late, then... right, I've gotta get going.
Seems like that sister's an expert in making people believe anything she wants.
I thought I heard something. Who are you and why are you eavesdropping?
We'd better watch out. She seems like a dangerous villain, or a trickster at best.
Oh, really? I'm a member of the long-standing Favonius Church. You're an eavesdropping pixie from who knows where, and you think I'm the trickster?
Wait, she heard that? Paimon was whispering so quietly.
And as for this outlander you seem to be following... So it's you. The honorary knight that saved us from storm terror. Well then, given your status, I won't press you on your reasons for eavesdropping. Otherwise, depending on your answer, I could have arrested you on the spot.
What? Do the Sisters of Mondstadt have the authority to arrest people now?
We can't go turning a blind eye to hidden dangers, can we? Why shouldn't sisters have a sense of justice?
That doesn't sound right. But Paimon can't think of a good comeback.
Let's talk about you. What are you doing in the mountains? If it's him you're after, I made a point of noting his tracks. Many people have made their way up after the snowstorm. Let's hope they're still there.
So, are you also looking for him?
No, this is just a professional habit of mine. I sensed elemental traces in these tracks. Never hurts to be vigilant. I couldn't care what you think. Come on then. I'd like to see what he's up to anyway.
Rosaria said there were elemental traces in the tracks. They should show up pretty clearly with elemental sight.
You know, little pixie, your ability to appear and disappear at will is very interesting.
Yeah?
After committing a crime, you'd be able to leave the scene without a trace.
You're so suspicious. Why is Paimon a criminal in your example? It's getting colder and colder. Rosaria, aren't you freezing?
Me? I'm alright. I got used to operating.
Huh? Is that Albedo? Why would he hang around a place like this?
The word on the street is he loves painting. He'll hang around anywhere for a good landscape. The views and scenery here are pretty good. Potential paintings everywhere you look.
But can't he see those hilly churros? Isn't he in danger? Uh-oh. Looks like we startled them. Enough talk! Let's take them out of the picture first!
Who are you? Why did you alarm them? Thank the gods I'd already completed my painting. Would have been a shame to leave these particular hilly churls unfinished.
What's up with painting hilly churls? What makes them so interesting?
I'm afraid the answer isn't easy to explain. If you'd like to have a look at my painting, it may give you a clue.
Wow! Look at the detail! But some of it seems to have been done in a hurry.
You can find these hilly churls anywhere. Quite boring, in fact. Not worth closer inspection. But take a look at this specimen. The build, the coat, and there's a distinct force at work here. In the cyclical lives of such primitive communities, such unique attributes are an indication of evolution at work. Evolution, the transition from nothing into existence, from the known to the
Hold your horses. Something tells me we're in for a thesis and I haven't got the stamina. We found your man. I'm headed back.
What? Don't you have any questions for him? Hey! What a weirdo.
So Sister Rosaria brought you. Surprising. And I didn't have time to thank her. But back to the point. From her words, it seems that you were looking for me?
Mm-hmm. We met a girl in Mondstadt, Sucrose. She said you were stuck with your research.
I see. So Sucrose sent you here. Then, if I'm not mistaken, you must be the honorary knight. You've got the whole of Mondstadt talking. I've heard a bit of everything. I'll skip to the conclusion. There's only one possibility after all. You came from afar. From an... Excellent. If I could procure your assistance, I think my research would benefit enormously. Forgive me. This must be confusing. Where should I begin? The essence of life?
Whoa. You want to start with that?
You're right. Giving a demonstration would be better than trying to explain. For example, awakening life. Breathing new life into fallen leaves.
You can do that?
However, I have a particular seed in my possession. The method I'm talking about has produced no results. It's like you, in that it hails from another world. Helping it to grow, to bloom. That's the problem my research is up against. That's where I need your assistance.
Well, if you're struggling to figure it out, Paimon's not sure we're gonna be much assistance.
I beg to differ. I'm unable to comprehend the intricacies of life outside of the known world. But you're not from the known world. By observing and researching you, I may just be able to find a way to get the seed to sprout.
Shall we just get out of here? This sounds a little freaky.
Mora, knowledge, and the answer to the question you are seeking. It happens to be an answer that I can provide. How does that sound? Time for a change of surroundings. We should be going. There's research to do.
Albedo and that traveler seem to have hit it off. Takes a weirdo to know one, I guess. I wonder, does this constitute a risk to Mondstadt?
A question. After the seed sprouts, will it grow into anything?
I don't know, but I feel the importance will lie in the method, not the endpoint. Using alchemy to awaken otherworldly life into that would constitute a big leap in my understanding of the essence of life. After awakening, even creation may be possible. Still a little difficult to understand?
But what's the seed gonna become? Isn't that more interesting than whatever it was you were saying?
Well, if it turns out to be a delicious fruit, dinner's on me.
Yay! Paimon's holding you to it.
Well, let's just say I, occasionally have to look after a child. Another lengthy explanation, I'm afraid. I suppose it's one of the few non-alchemy-related disciplines I'm any good at. The subject of my first research was the elements. In this world, manipulating the elements requires a vision. Though I can't see anything resembling one on your person, how you're able to freely manipulate elemental power is something I'd like to ascertain. I've got a few questions in that regard. Firstly, do you have any extra organs? A second heart? A fourth stomach? Fascinating. And this floating child is connected to your body in some way?
What a stupid question! Can't you see the gap between us? And another thing, it's Paimon, not floating child.
I was merely considering the possibility that you were an external organ. Perhaps there is some... Oh, that rules out that possibility. I wonder, Did Paimon guide the elemental power to you? But that would mean that Paimon's elemental power would be enough to break through a mountain rock at least 10 meters thick, or cause the waterfall south of Springville to flow backwards. No, that definitely can't be it.
Hey! How would you know anyway?
In that case, it would appear that there's no obvious difference between the composition of your body and that of the humans in this world. Given that there's clearly a discrepancy in our research, it seems that only experimentation will yield the answers. Firstly, this mysterious elemental power. I'd like to examine exactly how it manifests externally. Let me lure a few slimes to the area. Perhaps you'd be able to defeat them, using whatever method comes most naturally to you.
Huh? Doesn't seem very sciencey.
Direct and clear observation are imperative to a good experiment. This is just a simple exercise. Naturally, if you require a greater challenge, we could bring in 6 Oceanids.
Slimes! Slimes are fine!
Well, prepare yourself. The slimes will be here any moment.
Prepare to be blown away! Windblade! Be gone! Windblade! Windblade!
Great work. Did you feel anything out of the ordinary? If you're injured, I have a few emergency potions ready. Excellent. According to my observations, the manifestation of the external elemental flow is as expected. Elemental reactions are normal. There's nothing out of the ordinary. Now that we know that the external flow is manifesting normally, let's test the internal flow.
Internal flow? How do you test that?
It's very simple. I can use alchemy to create a potion that will extract elemental power. If the elemental power is stored or accumulated physically within your body, this potion may elicit an elemental reaction.
Sounds kinda terrifying.
Don't worry. In the normal course of events, you'd feel some temporary queasiness. No bodily injury.
And in the abnormal course of events?
If anything unexpected occurs, I've made the necessary preparations. Try not to worry. Well, it's not that there aren't any risks involved. But if there is anything blocking your elemental flow, we'll be able to locate it with this test. Just a warning. If an internal elemental reaction occurs for any other reason, that's a bad sign. Yes, that's an excellent way to think about it. Before we get started, the potion we'll use for the test is missing a catalyst. We'll need to find it. It's a type of ore known as star silver, but unfortunately not all of it is suitable. I'll take you to my campsite. We can gather some star silver ore on the way. I'll point out any likely contenders. All going to plan, we should be able to begin concocting the potion when we get to the campsite.
Paimon's still got a few safety concerns, but it seems like there's a silver lining. Let's keep our eyes open.
Here, should do for catalyst purposes. This one. Usable with a bit of polish. What luck. This should be enough. My campsite is just up ahead. This is my campsite. I've added the materials we collected to the concoction. While we are waiting, have a look over here. My assistant Timaeus here is helping me with my research. I'm guessing you may have met in Mondstadt already.
Hello! I've just gotten hold of the data from your experiment. The report is already up on the board there.
Whoa! Look at all the data! You got all these results from one slime battle?
I wouldn't call them results, inferences, and a few daring guesses perhaps. I think the most rational direction would be to expound on the phylogenetic relationship between this traveler and the slimes. Consider. You don't have a vision, but you can manipulate elemental energy. The slimes don't have visions either, yet they too are able to manipulate the elements. Following this line of thought, I'm sure we'll be able to establish a basis in fact.
Not bad for a point of entry. But strictly speaking, slimes are elemental life forms. In other words, beings consisting entirely of the elements. A cryoregis vine, or even a whopper flower might be a better analogy. But tracing back the phylogenetic relationships between plants and animals, you might have to trace back to the world's origins. In that sense, things might get difficult, don't you think?
Yes, sir. That sounds correct.
After all, we've got our primary data already. This traveler is a visitor from another world. If it turned out that she did have a phylogenetic relationship with this world... Now that really would be something, wouldn't it?
Ah, it would. Apologies. I was so excited to get the data. I'll slow down a bit next time. Speaking of data, to complete our research, we'll need some more. I'll be conducting analysis here for the time being. If you're keen for an update, just come and find me.
Great, I'll leave you to it. Looks like the potion's ready. I'll try a little first. If all goes well, I'll hand it over to you. In line with my expectations. Ready to drink. Remember to keep calm at all times, and breathe deeply if you feel unwell.
Tasty? You've got a funny look on your face. You said you tried some already. You sure it was ready? What's happened to her?
Oh, this was the result I was expecting. And a very positive one at that. This potion channels elemental power into the body. Under normal circumstances, a repelling reaction is to be expected. But if the internal elemental flow is unimpeded, you'll only experience momentary discomfort. Once the flow is complete, there won't be any other effects.
So you knew you'd be sick and still drank some?
It was my own concoction, of course. Only natural for me to be the guinea pig. Perhaps it's just scholarly self-assurance, and it certainly speeds things up. In conclusion, I'd say we have our conclusion. As far as elemental energy is concerned, you're no different from anyone else in this world. Nothing peculiar.
Aw, Paimon wanted something cooler to happen.
Then again, better an ordinary result than a peculiar result. Peculiar results have a tendency to be of the undesirable variety. The good thing about ordinary is that everything is an object of reference, and everyone understands you. People are the same, they can understand, empathize, encourage, and support one another. When you're sick, a doctor can diagnose you because they are you. When something goes wrong, you can ask people who've made the same mistake for their experience because you are them. But a peculiar person, they don't have much recourse for the things we take for granted. The essence of their life is fundamentally different. For example, a human can't understand the life of a pyroregisvine or an Eye of the Storm. Have I explained it clearly enough? To sum up, this has been a positive outcome. Going forward, you can use your elemental power without fear. Timaeus, the results of the new experiment are out. If you could see to collating them.
Just a moment, sir. I'll handle it. You gave me a lot to consider. Really stretched my limits. I'm thinking a lot clearer now. Having you down as an animal wasn't very precise of me, but starting with the premise of an elemental life form, now that was...
Not bad. I think it's an interesting line of inquiry. Whatever the truth of the matter, I'd like your research at the fore as opposed to my judgment.
You can count on me, sir. I'll extract a result satisfactory to all.
Is he trying to join the Knights? He's starting to sound like a suck-up. What Paimon meant to say was, that's the spirit! Mr. Albedo, say something!
Before we can proceed with our research, I need to... prepare something. Wait one moment. If you're interested, why not have a look around? It may help to pass the time.
Here comes Albedo! Let's go see him!
I'm back. Did you see anything interesting? Not to worry. They're all for alchemical purposes. You'd be hard-pressed to find an everyday use for them. Well, on with the research. There may be significant differences between different worlds. Take Tevat, for example. Here, those with visions can manipulate the elements. But worlds may well exist where only one person is able to do so. Or even everyone. So, leaving elements to one side. Do you possess any unique abilities? Ones that don't exist in this world? I think answering this question calls for the same methodology as last time. In other words, time for the next experiment. No. You shan't be required to exert quite so much effort this time around. Now, see this pillar here? Use your willpower to try and break it.
You think Paimon knows how to do that stuff?
That was your best effort? Well, can't be helped, I suppose. Have you tried using your elemental power with food? I don't mean for cooking, as such. Rather, channeling your power into the ingredients themselves. I'm curious to see how the taste and texture respond. It may even help with proliferation. I suppose I have a curiosity for things that others find surprising. Anyway, why don't you cook us up a...
Cooking?
Not only is this recipe a...
Paimon, that does sound yummy though. Okay, Good buddies are always on the same page.
I'll leave you to it then. Looking forward to the results. If there's anything left over, maybe Timaeus can finish the last morsels.
Paimon doesn't think we'll have that problem. How are we gonna channel elemental power into the food? Maybe try
That
the
was
willpower
fast.
thing again.
Look at...
Where does he get these ideas from anyway? Let's just...
ancient alchemy truly is fascinating.
Come take a look. There will definitely be something that catches your eye.
It's been getting quite busy recently.
That was fast. Looking forward to testing the results. An average outcome experimentally, but you've really brought out the flavor. You seem well versed in the science of gastronomy. As far as the proliferation hypothesis is concerned, we've come up short. Seems like food presents the same headaches in your world as it does ours. Unless... could it be that the natural laws of this world are limiting your unique abilities?
We just didn't know how to channel elemental power into the food. It's a little more complicated than adding herbs and spices, you know.
Not to worry. At least we put some food to good use. No need to feel disheartened. And here's your portion. Enjoy. I can box it up if you like.
Woohoo! Thanks! Glad you were paying attention.
I can tell that you're good friends. Paimon was keeping an eye on you and your safety during the whole experiment. Not that Paimon would have been able to do much if things had gone wrong. But anyway.
Hey! You were being nice a second ago! But you do have tasty recipes, so Paimon forgives you. And you're right, we are good friends. You have good friends too, right? Good students?
Yes. I'm fortunate too, I suppose. Anyway, moving on to the next experiment. There are all manner of alchemical items here. Keeping them in their proper place is a challenge at the best of times. A while ago, I had the misfortune of misplacing a batch. I managed to retrieve the majority, but 2 vials have been evading me. Animal crystal fly elemental extract and electrohypostasis powder.
Paimon's barely finished eating and you want us to go gathering again?
Don't worry if you can't locate them. I was planning to replace them anyway. Though finding them would save me the hassle. If you had, say, a superpower, like night vision or vibratory sensing, lost property would be a thing of the past. I must have dropped them somewhere in the area where you were looking just now.
So, guess we'd better take a look. Oh yeah! You could use elemental sight!
See what you can find. I'll be...
This must be electrohypostasis powder. The extract of an animo crystal fly can only be animo elemental energy, right? This has gotta be it! Still in one piece!
Goodness, you managed to find them. Incredible. 1,000 thanks. I'm wondering, this elemental sight, this is what allowed you to locate the items and find me here on the mountains, correct?
Yep! Guess it does sort of count as a superpower, huh?
Unfortunately, though elemental sight is seldom seen, it is not unheard of in Teyvat. Only a never-before-seen otherworldly power would be of benefit to my research.
You mean, we failed again?
Don't be disheartened. This falls entirely within my expectations. Besides, getting these items back, I'd call this a very worthwhile experiment. I have to commend your deduction that the items would contain elemental traces. Right then. Up until now, our research has focused on your otherworldly identity. Our research on your identity as one of us is just beginning. In essence, the differences between humans are reflected in our intellectual and physical capabilities. Let's start with physical. Looking out from where we're standing, can you see what Sucrose is doing? And if you jumped from here and landed on that cliff, the one over there, could you see her then? So what about if you planted a single blow on the mountain face here, and it burst into 1,000,000 fragments? Then could you see her? Then I shouldn't get too excited. Still, we'll gain a more thorough understanding with an experiment. I know of a location that will be perfect for a physical test. Please, follow me.
You want us to jump? From up here?
Not necessarily. Not if you know of a better method, that is. Whichever method you choose, the experiment will end when you reach the opposite shore of the lake. I will factor the time expended and your top speed into my comparative analysis.
The opposite side of the lake. So, we're gonna be swimming?
Without limitations, we complete tasks intuitively, using the method that seems most rational to us. Some of us would be unable to stand the icy waters. Others might find the whole thing rather refreshing. No matter what choice you make, it's all a part of the experiment. For me, every detail is invaluable to the research. Then if you would, please, I eagerly await the results.
Wait a minute! While we're busy testing, what exactly are you gonna be doing?
Me? Recording data, responding to risks, providing, emotional support.
So if we do decide to go swimming, you gonna dive in with us?
No. Unless you're thinking of conducting competitive research?
Oh! Forget Paimon said anything.
Freeze!
Great work. I've never seen a performance quite like it. Your reputation precedes you, Traveler. The data shows that you're easily outperforming the average citizen in Mondstadt.
But you followed us the whole way without breaking a sweat!
Me? Actually, I used alchemy to cheat a little. But anyway, if it turns out that the natural laws of Tevat do not affect you, I should be able to make various inferences about the otherworldly civilization you belong to. If the natural laws of Tevat do affect you, then I shall be able to make inferences into the kind of evolution that would occur under the absence of such effects. The innumerable possibilities that this could present, the captivating insights, it would be something to savor again and again.
But how does this help your research?
You've helped me to unravel many of the problems that were holding it back. When we return to the campsite, I should be able to show you something interesting. I may be about to make some analogies between you and a few unusual specimens. I hope you won't be offended. Gold, petrified trees, a sun 8 times the size of our own. The essence of the investigative process is enthralling, but such feelings are inevitably fleeting in nature. I'm willing to pour all my energy into research, and yet specimens are finite. As the unknown transitions into the realm of scientific understanding, the feeling of enlightenment is lost. All these things that start out as objects of fascination end up possessing the prosaic mundanity of a sunsetia or a sweet flower. They cease to be noteworthy.
Oh, so that's why you wanted to paint those hilly turtles? Because you got to see something new and interesting in the differences between them?
Precisely. To quote my exact words from earlier, these creatures are, for the most part, quite boring, not worth closer inspection. There is precious little about them that serves to pique my curiosity now.
So after all these experiments, are we gonna be, like, boring to you? Like some basic draft of a sketch?
Of course not. You have been of great assistance to me, and I will remember this friendship for a lifetime. Now, before we head back to the campsite, there's one more experiment. Intelligence. Follow me. There are some other ruins nearby. I imagine you must have encountered more than a few conundrums during your travels. I'd like to observe your intelligence by means of a practical test of your capabilities, much as we did for the physical test. I'd like you to explore these ruins and return with your findings. There are 2 puzzles located at the far ends of the ruins. After completion, you should be able to activate the mechanism in the center. As with the physical test, there are no restrictions. Everything you do is an action I wish to observe. A tried and tested adventurer, I see. So, let's see you in action. Start wherever you like. Sealy like these are a common sight in the mountains. Returning them to their rightful places is up to you. It's a complex environment, so proceed with caution.
Don't get frostbite. Dodge this. Cool it.
It should now be possible to activate the central mechanism. Exactly what will happen when you do is something I'm looking forward to finding out. Oh, seems that the water level has suddenly decreased. We should be able to see what's in the water now. Let's have a look. What's this? To the best of my knowledge, these belong to a script of some kind. They can be found all over Teyvat, but they've never given up their secrets. There's still a lot to learn about them. And as for why they should ever have come to rest here, a true mystery. Let me make a copy first. I'll make time to go over them in greater detail after our research.
Another thing for the don't understand list. Unsolvable mystery this, weird experiment that. It'd be nice to get some cool results for once. Seems like if you want the reward, you gotta pay the price.
I've truly gained a lot from all this. Comparatively, the little reward I can offer is too small to mention. Let me return to the campsite first. By the time you get back, I may just have a fleeting miracle for you to witness.
Paimon's kinda looking forward to seeing the results of all this brain ache. Unless you can think of anything better to do, let's head back to the campsite.
Not so fast. You're not leaving until I'm convinced that nothing dangerous is going on here.
You didn't leave the mountain?
I most certainly did not. And I've witnessed everything that you and Albedo have been up to. I must say, you let your guards down. Or maybe you were drawn in by his compelling-sounding hypothesis and friendly demeanor. Taking orders from a complete stranger, drinking anonymous potions, participating in all kinds of strange experiments. I'd sooner believe you were tricked than that you would be so naive. Or perhaps you were colluding from the beginning.
Sister Rosaria's guard's so high, she can't even see over the top of it.
It doesn't matter what you think. He could be a saint for all you know. But I understand him a little better than you, Outlander. I'm only concerned with one thing. Whether his alchemy has transformed you into something more sinister.
No way! Paimon would have sensed it. And anyway, he didn't even use any alchemy.
With an alchemist of his level, you wouldn't sense a thing. In any case, I'm not about to let a potential threat back into Mondstadt.
So, what are you gonna do?
I've got to hand it to you. You have your moments. If I can be sure that nothing you came into contact with is dangerous, that's good enough for me. I've investigated everything else. The only items left on the agenda are these symbols.
But we don't even know what they mean.
That much is true. Not to mention, seems like there's nothing more to them. But for insurance purposes, I'd better make a copy. This is now a location of interest. Regular patrols should be set up here. Now then, all things considered, I deem that you pose no immediate threat. Which is what I was hoping. I would have been one very unhappy sister if you'd made me work overtime on your account.
Overtime?
Before we go our separate ways, Outlander, a word of advice. Don't be so quick to trust Albedo, and don't repeat the same mistakes that you did this time. You made a lot of rash decisions today.
She's gone! So stubborn. Mondstadt doesn't have many people like that. Huh. Never mind her. Let's go see Albedo!
You're back. Good timing. I've just about reached the conclusion. You took quite a while. Did you get held up on the way back? I wouldn't worry. She's just doing her job. Time for the results. We got a myriad of data today, and it was very difficult to finish all the research in one go. But the integral preliminary conclusion that I can offer you is you're very much like a human from this world.
You couldn't tell that just by looking? We spent all day working our butts off for that?
Please, I understand that this may have seemed self-evident to you, but in fact, nothing in this world should be taken for granted. Have you ever considered that the world of Teyvat may have a natural hostility to Outlanders? I mentioned the natural laws of this world. You're able to converse with me here without consequence, and nothing seems amiss. But it's arguably a small miracle. The only other life form that, like you, has come here from afar is the seed that I mentioned. Under the effects of Teyvat's natural laws, it isn't even able to sprout, let alone bloom. But after I observed you, I had another idea. Imitating you helped to inspire my alchemy. And so...
Whoa! It looks like something's appearing!
The transition from nothing into something, from shoot to stem, and now to fruition. Is not nurturing otherworldly life also nurturing the world itself? It would seem that that's as far as we go. A transient bloom of incomparable beauty. Life's proudest achievement.
Paimon thought with all efforts, it might have bloomed forever, and it didn't even have any fruit.
Life is a manifold tapestry of free entities. Its value shouldn't derive from how long it stays with us. Even a momentary burst is precious. A short life can be well lived. A life lived efficiently, lived to perfection, is necessarily one unburdened by loneliness. So, do you understand what I meant about us conversing here arguably being a small miracle?
Things feel a little heavy right now. Don't be sad. You've got Paimon to look after you. Albedo, Paimon really wants to be your friend.
Thank you both. Even if dispelling loneliness is not essential for life, it certainly doesn't hurt. Your help inspired me to discover the means to make a flower bloom. I mean that the time I've spent traveling with you in the mountains was a valuable journey for me. In the future, if the need arises, well, glad I can count on you. I made a point throughout of telling her how ordinary the results were. But what was that sediment I saw forming at the bottom of the vial? It should not have been there. What could it mean? Those born of Earth are bound by its imperfections, but those born of chalk are free of impurities. If, one day, I lose control, destroy Mondstadt, destroy everything, can I rely on you to stop me?
One Wind Bookhouse. Get...
Feel free to look around. There's no obligation to buy.
We're looking for the Liyue volume of the Teyvat Travel Guide. Do you have it in stock?
Sorry, dear. We stopped stocking that a very long time ago. It just wasn't selling.
Huh? But the Mondstadt volume was so interesting. Bummer.
The thing is, the author made it too personal, and the result wasn't really much of a guide. It barely sold any copies, and the few travelers that did buy it made complaints afterward.
Well, that's a shame. The Mondstadt volume was a good read, even just as an adventurer's diary.
The fact remains that I don't have it in stock. If you must read it, try your luck at Chang the Ninth's place.
Who's Chang the Ninth?
A book collector who lives in Xingqiu village. He's a complete grouch, but he will behave himself if the conversation is about... He was a regular customer here back when he lived in Liyue Harbor, and I still sent him the odd out-of-print book or two every now and then.
Did somebody say out-of-print books? Is there a chance that Volume 6 of Legend of the Shattered Halberd is also in his collection? Apologies, my liege. Where are my manners? My name is Xingqiu, a humble literature enthusiast who happened to be passing by. Since you and I are both in search of lost books, what say we travel together to Mount Qingce and pay a visit to Chang the Ninth? My pleasure, fellow book lover.
So, are you buying or not?
Should we ask here if they have a copy of the Liyue volume of the Teyvat Travel Guide? It's super duper interesting.
The heavens are smiting me. Smiting me to smithereens. Uh-huh. And what do you want? Come on, spit it out.
We've heard you've got tons of old books lying around, and we want to borrow the Liyue volume of the Teyvat Travel Guide.
Huh. Don't get me started on the topic of my books. After the chasm was sealed off, the family mining business started going south. Then the Fatui started working to sabotage me. To pay off my debts, I had no choice but to pawn off my beloved book collection. Every last book. Do you have any idea what that means? Wrong. That was my life's work. I devoted my entire life to curating, collecting, caring for them, and now they're gone. Gone, I tell you. It's useless ranting and raving at you like this. All I can do is try to save enough Mora to buy them back. Unless you have other business here, I'm done talking to you. Goodbye. Off you go. Go on, go.
Please tell me that you didn't pawn Volume 6 of Legend of the Shattered Halberd.
Legend of the Shattered Halberd? There's a title I haven't heard in a long time. You have good taste, my boy.
What? But we don't?
That work was an epic-defining masterpiece. Granted, it was almost unknown at the time it was published, but over time it was the work that came to define the genre of martial arts novels and sparked a plethora of imitation works. Barely any copies of the first edition were ever printed.
The later edition inexplicably went out of print, almost as soon as it was released. A shame, given what it allegedly added to the original story.
Yes, that's right. How did I forget? The original edition's 6th volume of that work is so rare, I could never bring myself to pawn it no matter how much I needed the money.
You mean you still have it?
Yes. It is my one and only remaining treasure.
Hey, Chang. You've got some nerve keeping me and my boss waiting like this. I need an answer. Will you sell the core lapis or not? I'm sure you don't need me to remind you that if you mess with Gentry Moutsai, you're messing with the Fatui.
Oh, you again. But you know I can't afford to give a 70% discount on the price. I'd never be able to buy my collection back.
That's your business. The question is, do you want your books, or do you want food on your plate? Perhaps you'd like to take your books with you to an early grave.
You...
Whoa there, friend. Come on. This gentleman is either willing to make a deal or he's not. You can't force him to sell against his will.
Just who do you think you are? Keep your nose out of other people's business.
My liege, I am but one who comes to the aid of this gentleman in his moment of need. I am Xingqiu, disciple of the Guhua clan.
Guhua clan? Did you hear this clown? He thinks he's a Guhua master in this day and age. Oh, there was me thinking the last granddads of Guhua had keeled over and died by now. Who were you supposed to be then, huh? Some sort of Guhua messiah?
Justice is blind to our backgrounds, my friend. That just makes me someone trying to do the right thing. But you? The weasel who does the tiger's bidding may be less powerful than his master.
Get a load of this guy. Just you wait. You'll be sorry you crossed me. And you, Chang, you're selling that core lapis whether you like it or not.
Oh, how the wolves prey upon the fallen tiger. My days are numbered.
So, just to come back to what we were talking about earlier, could I get a yay or nay about borrowing that book?
Oh, what does it matter now? I can't expect anybody to care about me anymore. But since you did stick up for me, please, just take this book and leave me in peace.
3 long years I have waited for this day. Words cannot express my gratitude. I, Xingqiu, vow to repay this great act of generosity.
All right, give it a rest. Just bring it back when you're finished. Sorry, but I'm not about to put my hopes in some self-professed Guhua disciple.
Hey, where are you going? We've still got a job to do over here.
I swear I'll reclaim my lost fortune.
You like reading, huh, Mr. 5-second hero?
Oh, amazing! I never saw that coming.
Hello? Xingqiu? Anybody in there?
No wonder this book is so highly sought after.
How can they bully poor old Chang the Ninth like this? Forcing him to sell his ore for dirt cheap? It's daylight robbery, pure and simple.
Don't forget me. I'm in too.
Oh, so now you can hear what we're saying.
The reason I borrowed this book is that it would be a real pity if Chang the Ninth ended up having to pawn it. And I meant every word I said to Chang the Ninth. I will return his act of kindness. It is the just thing to do. I will be custodian of this book, and I will also help find a way to buy back the rest of his collection. Of course I do. An initial plan anyway. I still need to work out the details. Give me a second to reflect. It shan't take but a moment.
You're still here? What is this, a game to you? You think no one's really gonna get hurt? I gotta hand it to the Goofball clan. What you lack in numbers and talent, you make up for in guts. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say Goofball clan? I meant Guhua clan. That's what you goofballs call it, right?
There's a saying that goes, the insect that shakes the oak tree ludicrously overestimates its ability.
Quit quoting proverbs at me, you buffoon!
Please leave this place. I will not tolerate an attempt to coerce an honest trader, especially when the one you seek to threaten is one to whom I owe a debt of gratitude.
It's cute that you want to stick your neck out for Chang and all. But you picked the wrong time, you little punk. I brought the Fatui to back me up. A whole army of you and your little Guhua buddies wouldn't be able to help you now.
I may be young, my liege, but the path I have chosen makes me no stranger to conflict. Why should I cower in the face of evil?
Oh, great speech. But now it's time for you to learn your lesson.
There you are, eavesdropper. Rain outlines your fate.
Let me amuse myself a little.
You're open. You're open.
Witness the power of Guhua.
Try not to enjoy this too much.
I thought that was just a regular pendant you were wearing, not a vision. You won this round, but you better watch your back. This isn't over.
Would it be too much to hope they've learned their lesson? Yes, though I try to avoid using it. I dislike the unfair advantage it gives me against my opponents. Though I long to restore Guhua to its former glory, it is no easy task.
They've gone for now, but they'll be back looking to cause more trouble before long.
I'll see to it that no harm comes to those who show me kindness. There is a just and unjust way to do business, and I will ensure the matter is resolved satisfactorily. It's not like the Fatui to pick sides in a business dispute, but the confident demeanor of their errand boy suggests there is substance to his words. There must be a deeper level of collusion at work here. He mentioned Gentry Mautai. I know this name. He has a stately residence in Liyue Harbor. Maybe the two of you could go and investigate.
That idea works, but what are you gonna do?
Me? I have other things to look into. Let me see. Let us meet at Yujing Terrace in Liyue Harbor in a bit.
You really have stuff to do? Are you sure you're not just using us as your errand runners?
Wow, so that's how that turned out. This whole passage is just extraordinary.
Ugh, this guy is so annoying! Paimon just wants to slap him right in his stupid face! Fine. But, as per tradition, Paimon gets to pick an ugly nickname for him. From now on, he shall be known as... Guhua Geek!
Who goes there? How strange. You're not on the guest list. The Master's dealing with some urgent business today. All prior appointments have been canceled.
Urgent business? What is it?
The Master's been working on a major business deal recently. He left early this morning to meet with a VIP client.
So, where is he now?
I'm sorry. The Master has stressed that we must not disclose that information to just anyone. No, I mean, yes. Yes, you are. I meant no offense. Please, believe me. I'm sorry. Master's currently in business negotiations at Xingqiu Kiosk. I beg for your mercy, please. My master will show me no leniency if he finds out.
Well, my master has much more important things to do than talking to rude guards like you. Luckily for you, your bad attitude will be the last thing on his mind when he's busy negotiating a big business deal with your boss.
Thank you. May your business forever be blessed by the Lord of Geo.
Nice work! Paimon never knew you were such a tough negotiator. Is that so? Now Paimon knows not to let your wily ways get the better of her in the future. Anyway, seems like the VIP client in question must be one of the Fatui. In that case, let's get ourselves over to the Xingqiu Kiosk. Seems business is booming at the Xingqiu Kiosk. No one should notice if we blend in there. But either way, if we want to know what kind of shady business they're up to, we better be careful.
New stock at Xingqiu Antiques. Have some new items there.
I understand. I do. Please do not worry. You have my word that the order will be completed as promised.
The subordinate I sent was not quite so optimistic in his appraisal. Is somebody being uncooperative?
We just ran into a minor procurement problem, is all. We haven't managed to purchase the core lapis yet. But it's nothing for you to worry about. If Chang the Ninth won't sell, I can buy from someone else.
That would be most ideal. I remind you again that the Fatui care only about the result. We are willing to lend a certain degree of support to this transaction. But if it is not completed in time, you may suddenly find our goodwill comes at a price you cannot afford.
I understand. I am indebted to you for your protection. You know I would not dream of disappointing you, don't you?
We shall see when the time comes.
Darn that old man Chang.
So, Mr. Gentry Moutsai is colluding with the Fatui. Who knows if Gua Geek has made any progress? Should we go tell him? You said you had other things to look into, as if you're some sort of man of mystery. When actually, all you meant was you wanted somewhere new to park your backside while you read your book.
I see. I guessed as much.
Did you really guess, or are you just saying that to sound clever?
The course of action we must take is now clear. To start with, please deliver this letter to the Feiyun Commerce Guild. They will know what to do. My liege, for reasons that I cannot explain, I will be unable to join you. There is no need for you to read the contents of the letter. When the time comes...
Ugh, this writing is super hard to read. Paimon can't make heads or tails of it.
Hence why I said there's no need for you to read it. The Feiyun Commerce Guild will have someone who can understand it.
But why would you want to get them involved? They're one of the bigwig commerce guilds in Liyue. Why would they want to help us? Since we got to Liyue, Paimon keeps hearing people mention it. Seems they oversee a lot of business that goes on around here. Having such big backing would be great and all, but are you sure they'd want to help?
No need to worry about that. From what I know, they share my sense of chivalry. Once they have read the carefully reasoned and passionately argued case I put forth in this letter, they will certainly be moved to... Gentry Moutsai must be taught a lesson he will never forget. This is something we cannot do on our own. Also, I do not wish for anyone else to know of my involvement in this.
Why not? You're only doing this to try and help Chang the Ninth, right?
To silently disappear at the matter's conclusion, concealing one's name and contribution. This is the chivalrous thing to do. To savor the memory is ample reward. Each droplet of kindness I receive, I am duty-bound to repay with a welling spring of gratitude. I seek neither praise nor reward.
That sounds very lovely. But be honest, you just want them to do it so you can carry on reading your book, don't you?
Thank you in advance for delivering this letter to the Feiyun Commerce Guild. Someone from the guild should be able to receive you near Lioli Pavilion.
Hey! Stop ignoring Paimon! excuse us. We come bearing news of a matter requiring your assistance. It's all in this letter.
A letter? Oh, I see. This again. Oh, don't mind me. I was just speculating. Let me give this a read.
Can we actually read this thing? Is it even written in the common tongue?
Yes, the script is inimitable by the uninitiated. Honored guests, you must both be wary from your long journey. Please allow the Feiyun Commerce Guild to be your host for tonight. Please rest assured that the matter written about has been duly received. We just need some time to prepare. Please take a seat here in Leo Lee Pavilion, where you may enjoy some light refreshments while taking in the ocean view. Consider it a small token of our esteem.
Yay! Tasty snacks! They're giving us the VIP treatment!
Of course. We treat visitors with the utmost respect here at the Feiyun Commerce Guild. When honored guests grace us with their presence, far be it from us to shirk our duty to them. Please, this way.
And Paimon thought we'd get kicked out, or turned away at the door. Paimon didn't think Guhua Geek had so much clout.
Thank you for your patience. With the amount of wealth and power Gentry Moutsai has, it will take more than a slap on the wrist to get through to him. For him to correct the error of his ways, he must feel for himself the same suffering he has inflicted on Chang the Ninth. Since Gentry Moutsai's business has to do with core lapis, we simply need to buy up all the stock there is in Liu. That will put him in a rather sticky situation. Deprived of the necessary raw materials, even the best craftsperson in Tevat would be unable to make their product.
Great idea! That'll be sure to mess things up between him and the Fatui. But Liyue is huge. Is it really possible to buy up every last bit of core lapis in the harbor?
With the timescale we are on, it is indeed a challenge. Hence, as stated in the letter, we must ask for your further cooperation in the matter. First, there are a number of vendors in the city you will need to buy from. I've marked their respective locations on your map. There is also some unsold core lapis at the chasm. You will need to purchase that too. Finally, there is Chang the Ninth's batch.
Alrighty, so 3 sellers in the city, another one at the chasm, and then Chang the Ninth. Roger that!
Of course, we are not expecting you to cover the costs.
Wow, so many more! With cash like this, Paimon could rent out Lioli Pavilion and eat there for a whole month!
Well, this is not the first time we've had to do something like this. It's just par for the course now. All you need to do is strike a deal. The Feiyun Commerce Guild will handle the transportation and other trifling matters. Once you have purchased all the core lapis, please proceed to the Feiyun Commerce Guild's warehouse, where you can see the rest of the plan unfold.
Gotta hand it to Guhua Geek. This is some seriously solid work for a guy who lives in a fantasy world. Let's do this in the order the guy said. First the sellers in the city, then... the chasm, and then last but not least, Chang the Ninth.
Hi, anything You want all my core lapis? I've already agreed to several orders. That said, none are in writing. The buyers are being incredibly indecisive. Oh, it's for the Feiyun Commerce Guild? Seems business trends are about to change in Liyue. Oh, nothing. Just talking to myself. Come, let us sign a contract. Don't worry about my prior client. He hadn't made any down payments or anything. Quite common in the industry. Thank you for your patronage. We hope the Feiyun Commerce Guild will continue to do business with us.
My friend, what can I do? I should have been still.
Oh, this is a clear fire hazard right here.
Why do they have to give me that transfer?
Good day, my friend. My apologies, but I'm out of stock at the moment. Please try again next time. Oh, I thought you were here to purchase Snezhnayan products. No, that I still have, although I ship it all to factories in Snezhnaya. I don't do retail. Too much hassle, not enough return. Sorry. What? No. Give me a second to think. All right, I'll do it. Just need you to sign for it. Clearly no shortage of cash flow in Liyue.
Welcome. Please take a seat.
I should open a store.
Oi! Shh! Keep your voice down. All of it? Though my business may not seem so big, I should warn you that I can get what you need, both legitimately and not so legitimately. Best you give me an actual number. All of it would be far more than you actually want. What are you saying? Of course my business is all above board. Feiyun Commerce Guild, you say, huh? If it's for the Feiyun Commerce Guild, then sign on the dotted line, and I'll start getting things in order right away.
The atmosphere here is even.
My friend, what can I get you?
Hello there. Are you in charge of the core lapis here?
Aha, finally. I thought you might come. I hear the Feiyun Commerce Guild has been buying up all the core lapis stock in Liyue Harbor. As it happens, I do have a batch of core lapis that hasn't been shipped yet. It's all yours. The original buyer's price was already quite high, so... The best I can do is... 7 million mora.
Are you serious? We spent less than 100,000 mora on the rest of Liyue's stock put together.
I'm afraid it has to go to the highest bidder. I'm breaching an existing agreement by selling look, you have your problems to deal with and I have mine. You can take it or leave it. So if you're not buying, please leave me alone.
All right. We'll pay, even if it is a ridiculous price. When we get back, we'll just have to tell the guild that we'll sell to this gentleman at 4 times the normal price in the future.
Wait, surely there's no need for that. Please, don't do this. It's not even your money. Why be so frugal with it?
It might be the guild's money, but we'll have a tough time explaining to our boss why we spent so much in one go. If he asks, all we can do is mention your name and say you gouged us over the price.
I understand. I'm sorry, please. I don't want any trouble with the guild. There's just one other thing, though. There's been an issue with the delivery of this batch. Several carts were ambushed by hilly churls. I don't know where exactly, but if I can't retrieve the goods, I can't sell them to you either. So, maybe you could go and look for the carts? There should be 5 of them in total. If you can... Oh, thank you very much. This is a lot to ask, I know.
That's that, then. Well, no time to lose. Come on!
Why the... You're alive, aren't you?
Flame Blade! Another one down. Here we go! Quick, make a note of the location. That's it, all right. That's a big old stash of core lapis. Make a note of the location. Well, that guy said there were 5 carts in total, so that should be all of them. Let's get back. This has all been quite exhausting for poor little Paimon. He definitely owes Paimon some snacks. Here, we've made a note of the cart's locations, all 5 of them. Can you sell us the core lapis now?
Oh, wonderful. Thank you both. Yes, let's make this official. I also hope you could put in a good word with your boss for me.
Done and dusted. Yeah! We make a great team, don't we? Now for the final stop on our core lapis crawl, to Chang the Ninth's place.
Reclaim my lost fortune. Just who I was hoping to see. I was just thinking to myself, Gentry Mount-sized thugs have been mysteriously absent for a while now. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you?
Oh, don't worry. You won't be hearing from them again.
Oh? What happened? Huh? Oh, I see now. You're in this trade too. So you're trying to beat him to the post, eh? Appearances can be deceiving, that's for sure. But I don't care who you are. A discount of 70% is simply impossible. The maximum I can do is 40% off, and even then I'm only breaking even.
No need. We'll take it at the market rate.
You mean you're not trying to force the price down? What's going on? Have I died and gone to heaven? I can't believe it. I will make a profit on this batch after all. But gentry mount-sized thugs could still come back after I've sold it.
If Paimon told you they're not gonna bother you again, then you'd better believe they're not gonna bother you again.
Huh. Okay, then. My situation can hardly get worse from here in any case. But tell me, what on earth do you plan to do with so much core lapis?
Actually, it's for a commission. Can't go into too much detail.
Thank you. Thank you a million times over. I really don't know what to say.
Good people always get what's coming to them in the end. And so will the nasty people. Anyway, let's get going, because apparently we have a show to watch at the Feiyun Commerce Guild's warehouse.
Welcome. The final act in this drama would not be complete without you two here as audience.
You better believe it. We're the ones who've been doing all the work. What exactly have you been doing all this time?
Well, naturally, I used the time to immerse myself completely in Legend of the Shattered Halberd. I managed to finish the book off, and I enjoyed every minute of it. Divine Halberd, an ominous sword. Mir and Wei Yang. The way the story develops across the first 5 volumes, nothing short of exemplary. But the 6th volume? Words fail me. How blessed we are to have such an author grace our world with such works.
And this is related to Gentry Moutsai how?
It's not. But when something surpasses expectations to such a degree, one must show one's appreciation. And it is thanks to your help that everything will play out just as I had foreseen.
Why does Paimon have to be the only one who doesn't get what's going on? No fair. So go on then, tell me, what are we doing here? And what's this big dramatic showdown thing that's supposed to happen?
Think about it. Gentry Moutsai goes searching for core lapis all over Liyue Harbor, and he doesn't find a single piece. He panics. Without the goods, he can't fulfill his contract. And if he can't fulfill his contract, he can't stay in good standing with the Fatui. He hears a rumor that the Feiyun Commerce Guild is the culprit. Panic turns to disbelief. Gentry Moutsai is a hugely powerful figure in the business world. Never has anyone dared to target him like this. So regardless of whether it is revenge or a swift resolution that he seeks, he is certain to...
So it was you! You were the one sticking your necks out for Chang the Ninth!
Speak of the devil.
I went everywhere trying to find someone selling core lapis before I realized the Feiyun Commerce Guild had been on an acquisition spree. Core lapis is hardly a rare mineral, and yet suddenly the stocks dry up, just like that. Explain yourselves. What is the meaning of this persecution?
We are not persecuting you, but protecting another, one to whom I am indebted. Upon witnessing an injustice, it is a perfectly normal response to rush to the aid of he who has been wronged. Was it not one of your own men who said, "This isn't over"?
You clearly don't know what's good for you. I won't beat around the bush. Master, if you please, seize their Corlapis!
Body and mind.
You're open.
Body and mind. Ring cutter. Time to act. Not good. Body and mind. Time to act.
Prepare yourself.
No, my sword!
Leaving so soon.
Let me weave you a verse.
Can't run from death.
Impressive. You are no commoners. To continue this fight would be to incur greater losses than I can accept.
Their strength is almost spent. Finish them off! The Corlapis is almost within our grasp.
Might I remind you that the Fatui's relationship with you extends to business matters only? I did not lend you my men to have them stir up trouble at your beck and call.
What are you saying? Master, everything I did with only one thing in mind. To complete the order.
Then figure it out by yourself.
Don't go. Wait. Master, wait!
My lord, what are you doing here? Are you hurt?
Thanks to this valiant young woman, I am unscathed.
My lord?
You? You are the heir of the Feiyun Commerce Guild?
Indeed, my liege. I am Xingqiu, disciple of the Guhua clan and second son of the Feiyun Commerce Guild manager, and I make no secret of it.
Drats! I've been played like a fiddle.
Gentry Moutsai. Coercion and intimidation are hardly the attributes of a respectable businessman. The problems that your business practices have created, I have sought to resolve through mine. I shudder to think what the Fatui will do with you if you fail to provide their core lapis.
You meddling swine! Well, go on. Tell me, what will you sell it for?
Since you asked Chang the Ninth for a discount of 70%, let's fight fire with fire, shall we? 3 times the market rate sounds fair, no?
How dare you subject me to such viciousness? This is a malicious and calculated attempt to run me into the ground.
Deep breaths now. This is a simple decision. Will you buy or not?
Fine. Have it your way. I'll find the money somehow. Happy now?
On behalf of the Feiyun Commerce Guild, I thank you for your business, and hope you will continue to do business with us in future.
You? Funny-speaking, book-reading, guhua geeking Xingqiu are the heir of the Feiyun Commerce Guild? So that massive stash of Mora you let us burn through in a day, that was from your private vault?
'Twas but a paltry sum. I got to make a very sound investment while putting Gentry Moutsai in his place. A classic two birds, one stone situation. You're too kind. You have valor in your heart, and that is worthy of admiration.
Yikes! Paimon's been calling you Guhua Geek this whole time! Paimon read in one of these martial artist novels that when rich heirs like you get angry at someone, you have their arms and legs chopped off! Paimon's toast, and sorry, very sorry! Please don't hurt Paimon!
Calm down. Since you can fly, you hardly need your legs anyway.
Save me! Save me! This is not a drill! Repeat, this is not a drill!
Jokes aside, I have the two of you to thank for this successful resolution. Really, you were a huge help. Meanwhile, Legend of the Shattered Halberd was positively riveting. Much obliged if you could return it to Chang the Ninth for me. I did nothing, and hence deserve none of his gratitude. The two of you, meanwhile, though strangers to the circumstances, stepped in and saved the day. To have made such valiant and chivalrous friends is more than enough for me, my liege.
My lord, forgive the intrusion. It's about your father.
Please inform my father thusly. I have averted a disaster and earned a sizable sum of money in the process. Might this meritorious act compensate for my prior transgressions and earn me a few more days of freedom, perchance? Legend of the Shattered Halberd speaks of a domain that I should very much like to investigate.
For all your clever long words, the fact is you're just a lazy bones who doesn't want to work.
What if I told you that a reward awaits you at Chang the Ninth's palace, and not just his gratitude?
A reward? Well, that sweetens the deal somewhat.
It seems whatever I say, there's no persuading you to stay. Oh, I didn't realize you weren't aware.
Thank you in advance for returning the book for me. I will take my leave now. May we meet again, fellow merchants.
Finally, you're back. This morning, the pawnbroker showed up and gave me back my entire collection. I'm positive that you must have been behind this once again. Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Please don't say that. You have no idea how much this means to me. The Chang family was a prestigious household in Liyue back in the day. Unfortunately, after I took over the family's affairs as heir, a series of business setbacks devoured our fortune. Since then, I've saved for years, hoping to restore the house to its former glory. In the end, everything was riding on this core lapis deal. Were it not for you, this barren wasteland in the mountains would have become my final resting place.
Wow, that's the second heir we've met in this town.
I'm sorry, what?
Nothing? Oh, here's your book back.
Wonderful. Legend of the Shattered Halberd. I was beginning to think that Guhua rascal had swindled me.
Do people really look down on the Guhua clan so much?
Actually, the art is centuries old, and was once held in high esteem. But now it has faded beyond recognition. To instigate a revival, you need to inject some fresh blood, but it's hard to attract budding young talent to a dying art. And so it becomes a vicious cycle. In any case, Guhua kids these days. Take that young rascal Xingqiu, for instance. For all his talk about repaying kindness with kindness and whatnot, what has he done to show for it? You're the ones who've displayed a genuine sense of responsibility. What does it matter? Anyway, you wanted the Liyue volume of the Teyvat travel guide, didn't you? I'll fetch it for you. It's yours to keep. In addition, here is but a small token of appreciation for your huge generosity. My ore is sold, and my treasured books have returned. I can't believe it. What?
What was that? Paimon saw something fall out.
Oh, nothing. That little rascal surely isn't. I swear I'll reclaim my lost fortune.